Welcome back to Co-Parent Court. On our last episode, Felicia and Ward agreed to work on their communication skills. Recently, they met at a coffee shop to start the process. Let's listen in and hear how it's going.
All right, we need to talk. You know damn well I'm doing the best I can here, but I can't keep cleaning up the mess every time I pick the kids up after you've been all fun mom and then leave me with all the fallout.
Oh, please, Ward. You've been the fun dad too, haven't you? Let's not pretend you're Mr. Consistency when it comes to rules and structure. 1 minute, you're letting them have pizza for breakfast, and the next, you're lecturing them about eating vegetables. They don't know if they're coming or going with you.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how you flip-flop. 1 minute, you're, oh, no screens before homework. And then the next, you're letting them binge-watch TV for 4 hours while you're on your phone. It's confusing as hell for them. They're acting out, Felicia. And it's because they don't know what the hell to expect from you.
Really? You want to talk about that? I'm the one who actually raises them and makes sure they do their schoolwork. You're in and out of their lives like a damn weekend tourist. You think you can just waltz in and tell me what I'm doing wrong?
I'm not saying you don't do your part, Felicia. I'm saying you're inconsistent. You can't go from bedtime is 8 o'clock sharp to, oh, it's fine if you stay up until midnight because we're having a movie night. You've been pulling that crap for weeks. And don't get me started on the candy. One day it's, you guys had enough sugar. And the next it's like you're giving them Halloween level sugar highs just for fun. You send them with candy every time I pick them up.
Oh, so now you're the perfect parent? You only see them for 2 days every other weekend. And you act like you've got all the answers. I'm the one dealing with their foolishness because their schedules are all messed up from your weekend chaos. You think they don't pick up on your mood swings when you cancel visits or show up late? Try being a full-time parent before you start throwing stones, Ward.
I'm not throwing stones. I'm just saying you need to get your act together, Felicia. How are they supposed to learn any kind of stability if they're constantly trying to figure out what's okay with you 1 minute and then the next? It's a completely different rule set. It's exhausting for them and it's exhausting for me too. Believe it or not, I'm the one picking up the pieces when they can't handle it. I just need you to see that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ward. Maybe I missed the memo that the rules have to be exactly the same on both ends. Newsflash, I'm trying here, okay? But you want to show up every other weekend and act like I've got it all wrong? You get a full day and then you're gone again. You don't have to juggle their school, their meals, their bedtime, their emotions, and on top of that, my emotions. I don't have the luxury of being the weekend parent, okay?
And I don't have the luxury of being the fun dad who gives them whatever they want just to keep them quiet. They need boundaries, Felicia. You can't just throw them in front of the TV or let them spend countless hours on their laptops so you can avoid dealing with the hard stuff. They don't understand that. All they see is inconsistency, and that's why they try to act out when I try to give them any structure.
Oh, so now it's all my fault? You're making it sound like I've been dropping the ball since we ended our relationship. You should try handling all of them on your own when they're all hyped up, screeching because they don't know when bedtime is. They don't care about rules when they've been told 10 different things in 1 day. And you want to talk about the TV and the gaming devices? You are no angel there, Ward.
You're right. I'm not perfect. But at least when I'm with them, I try to stick to some kind of structure. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. You can't keep bending the rules just to keep the peace with them. They don't like chaos. You think they're okay with all this back and forth. They're confused, Felicia. I'm confused.
I know they're confused. I'm doing what I can. I don't want to make things harder, but sometimes it feels like no matter what I do, you believe that I am the one who's messing everything up.
I'm not saying you're messing everything up, but Felicia, we need to be on the same page. If we can't get on the Felicia page with the basic stuff, rules, boundaries, consistencies, then the kids are going to end up thinking it's all a game. They will play us. I am not going to be played by these kids. And like I said, you're not messing everything up, but we need to do some things differently.
Okay, I get that. But we have to communicate better. Not just yell at each other about what's not working, but actually talk it through. The last thing I want is for them to see us fighting, you know?
Yeah, I get it. So, let's try this. Before I pick them up next weekend, we make a damn plan. Stick to it. No excuses. And you're right. Our communication and consistency needs to be better.
All right. But you have to be more consistent too, Ward. Don't just show up and give them ice cream because it's your fun weekend. They need more than that.
Got it. I'll lay down the rules and you'll bring in the structure.
Thank you both for agreeing to meet with me today. I've been listening closely to your concerns, and I want to first acknowledge that co-parenting is hard. There's no perfect formula. What I've heard from both of you is that there's a lot of frustration around consistency, or rather, the lack of it. But the real issue here isn't just the rules or the routines, it's the communication, or more accurately, the lack of communication.
I'm just trying to keep some kind of structure in their lives, you know? They need boundaries, but every time I try to stick to something, Felicia changes things up.
I'm not changing things up. I'm just doing what I can to manage everything. You think I can control everything? They're different with me. It's not the Felicia when you're only around for 2 days. They need me to be flexible when life is chaos.
I understand you're both coming from a place of wanting what's best for your children, but let's break it down a bit further. You're both describing situations where rules are being shifted constantly. On one side, Ward feels like Felicia is too lenient, and Felicia feels like Ward's rules are too rigid. But in the end, the kids are the ones stuck in the middle. When children experience inconsistency like this, it can create confusion, anxiety, and even behavioral issues. They need clear, predictable boundaries.
Yeah, I get that, but Felicia is always going with the flow, bending things just to avoid conflict with the kids. It's like there's no structure.
It's not about avoiding conflict, Ward. Sometimes, there's just no way to stick to some perfect schedule when life doesn't let you. I can't just stick to your one-size-fits-all approach when the kids are acting out, or when they're just too tired to do homework at 7 p.m.
I hear both of you, and I think the key here is compromise, but not just any compromise. You need to create a co-parenting plan where both of you can express your needs clearly and agree on a middle ground. Right now, what I'm hearing is that both of you are acting as if you're in charge of their world alone. The truth is, you're co-parents. You need to collaborate, not just react.
So you're saying I should just let him dictate everything? Because that's how it sounds.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we both need to be consistent, but there has to be some flexibility too.
What I'm saying is this. The problem isn't about who gets to be the fun parent or who enforces the rules more strictly. It's about creating a unified approach that is clear to the children. And that starts with both of you sitting down and setting a consistent set of guidelines. That means agreeing on things like when the kids will have screen time, what bedtime looks like, because right now it's chaos, what behavior is acceptable and what's not. You don't have to agree on every single detail, but you must agree on the major points. And most importantly, you need to communicate with each other when something needs to change.
So we make a plan together and stick to it, even if it's hard.
And we actually talk before we make changes, instead of just reacting in the moment.
Exactly. That's the key to consistency. For example, if Felicia needs to adjust the bedtime routine because the kids are acting up, it should be something you both agree on beforehand. And if Ward decides to change the rules for screen time, it needs to be communicated clearly to Felicia so she's not left out of the loop.
I get it. It's not about being perfect. It's about being clear with each other.
Okay, so we agree on the big things: bedtime, screen time, behavior, and communicate about any changes. But you have to understand, Ward, it can't just be about rules. You can't come in and only be the fun dad. That makes everything feel like a game.
And Felicia, you can't just avoid setting limits because you want to keep the peace. The kids need boundaries to feel safe and secure, no matter what side of the house they're in. If you're going to move forward, you need to respect each other's roles. This is about creating balance, not one parent being more in control than the other. Make time for those conversations, even if they're tough. And remember, the more consistent and unified you are, the more your children will benefit. They need to feel like both homes provide a stable, loving environment.
All right, I can do that. We both need to put the kids first, not our egos.
I agree. If we're going to make this work, I'll try harder to communicate and not just wing it.
Good. I think you both are on the right track. Take it one step at a time, and remember, it's about consistency, communication, and compromise. Not just for you, but for your kids. They deserve both of you working together. Now, I suggest you both take some time to really sit down and create that plan. You'll need it for the long haul, and don't hesitate to reach out for help if things get tough again. I'll see you in a couple of weeks with your co-parenting plan. As we wait to hear the answers from Felicia and Ward, please take a moment to follow us on all social media platforms. Like, follow, and share. And don't forget to subscribe to our Co-Parent Court channel on YouTube. You can also find us on our website, coparentcourt.com, sign up for our newsletter, or send us a message if you want to hear Judge Rose speak on a specific topic. Join us to catch the next episode with Felicia and Ward.